not really extremely bothered by players playing in the WBC. Obviously, when like if an injury happens or something happens for your player and that risk is always going to be there, it's going to suck and we're going to be frustrated about it. But I think it just comes back to the fact that a lot of these, especially some of these players that are playing for like Team DR, Team Puerto Rico, there's a lot of national pride there and they want to
Hmm.
play. And I forget who was it, Edwin Diaz or someone who said, like, literally uttered I think it was some Met who played, and they were saying that the World Baseball Classic meant more to them than like MLB World
Oh
Championship
yeah,
stuff.
I do
And
remember that.
and
Who did
I
say that?
I forget who it was exactly, but to us as traditional baseball fans that have watched the same team, it's like, what the hell? But these
Yeah.
guys show a lot of pride for where they come from.
Heck yeah,
And I
man.
think it's just we may not feel the same way and we may be frustrated, but I'm not really extremely bothered by it, except, and I think the one that comes to mind was Tyler Glasnow.
Hmm.
He last year they asked him if he was going to play in the WBC, and he said, "I would love to." I think he was on Chris Rose's John Boy show, and I heard the clip, and it was the perfect thing. If you're a player that hasn't stayed on the field, and he made this comment that I would love to play, but I am not healthy enough to play, and that
Yeah.
would be putting my other job at risk. And I think
Hmm.
that for those type of players that have a long injury history, I know Francisco Lindor's not playing in because he has a hand issue. He's not playing for Team Puerto Rico,
Yeah, well,
so
Judge didn't play for the last one too.
yeah, and but Judge has now put together a lot of good
Yeah, he
seasons,
was
and
coming off some injury seasons
so
virtually.
I think it's just I get why, and the risk is there for some of the, especially for a lot of these Yankees playing. I think Team Jazz is actually playing for Great Britain, uh, too, and so there's the risk there. But it's these guys take a lot of pride and they want to play, and also I kind of look at it. Maybe this is just me being a negligent fan. They would be playing maybe not. I don't know if you can say they're not playing full speed baseball, but they're also would be doing this in spring training games. They'd
Hmm.
also be playing full spring training games. Like they're taking the same reps. It's kind of good for them to be in these competitive games and get them going off the year. Like you can't tell me that maybe Judge has a killer World Baseball Classic and just gets this year off started really well, or Jazz
I
just,
would love
or
it. Yeah.
maybe Austin Wells, who we talked about last podcast,
Hmm.
didn't have a good 2025 or didn't have a great 2025 or had some instances. But what if he like kills it for Team DR and then he's just
Exactly.
comes into
I'm
the
with
year?
that.
That's the way I look at it with all these guys participating. I know some fans are going to be like, "That's bullshit. They shouldn't be playing. I want them to just do spring training."
Hmm.
They're not going to want to do that. So get
No,
that out of
the
there.
only thing I will say to that is like I think, if especially if USA goes, deep into the tournament, you miss a couple weeks of being with the team. I do think there is some value in,
Yeah,
that
that's fair.
clubhouse camaraderie. But again, Yanks are running back the same team, man. So all these guys know each other. So I don't think it's as big of a deal as if we were like, another year post Soto, totally new team, new third baseman, blah, blah, blah. But because they're running, virtually the same team they ended with back last year, I don't hate that they are
Yeah,
missing camp for a couple weeks, if that.
yeah. I don't hate it. I
The
don't hate it.
pitchers scare me a little bit, if I'm going to be honest, but
Yes,
that's just
yes.
because pitchers are fragile and they scare me when they pitch in the regular season too.
Luckily, it's no starting pitchers, but yes,
Yeah.
Bednar I will be
Another
watching,
big deal, though. Yeah.
and Duvall I will be
Duvall, big deal too.
watching.
Yeah.
So I will be watching these relievers that are pitching for the Yankees very closely. But I'm excited for World Baseball
I'm
Classic.
excited. I'm very
I
excited.
was
When does it
debating.
start?
I think first week of March, so probably a
Okay.
month, or and
Few
they'll probably
weeks.
do ramp up games. Yeah, I think they may play actually some spring training games against like MLB teams. I don't know if they're lined up to play the Yankees or anything. I know they do like
Hmm.
kind of warm up games, but I'll be watching. It's gonna get me fiending for a little bit of baseball.